I met him in the most ordinary way possible. I was at the beauty salon getting my hair done, and apparently he had noticed me before that day. I did not know any of that at first. All I knew was that my beautician told me a man had been asking about me, and the next time I came in, she called him and told him I was there. He came down from the barber shop, introduced himself, and started talking to me. At point in my life, I was not looking for love. I had already been through a long relationship, I had children, and I was in nursing school full-time. My life was already heavy. I was trying to survive school, parenting, work, and stress. I did not have space for anything complicated. So when he asked for my number, I did not give it to him. He gave me his instead. That should tell you exactly where my mind was. I was not pressed. I was not chasing anything. I was not sitting around hoping this man would be my future. I waited weeks before I called him. And even when I did call, I was honest. I told him I was talking to somebody, but it was not serious. My energy was not romantic. My energy was practical. I had too much going on to pretend otherwise. Still, he stayed consistent. We talked here and there. Nothing intense, nothing dramatic. He would come by sometimes, but I kept strong boundaries. I had young children, and I was not about to have a man in and out of my house when I did not even know what this was. So most of the time, I talked to him outside or sat in his car and talked. That was it. Months passed before anything physical happened, and when it finally did, it was bad. Not disappointing in a small way. I mean the kind of bad that makes you immediately know this is not something you want to keep exploring. But what really threw me was not even the bad sex, it was what he said after. He told me he loved me, the first time. That did not feel romantic to me, it felt off. Because how do you love somebody you barely know? How are you making a statement that deep when we have barely built anything real? I remember being turned off by that more than anything else. It felt too fast, too heavy, and too disconnected from reality. So after that, I backed up. I told him I had too much going on with school, work, and life, and that it would be better if we just stayed friends. And this is where the story gets tricky, because he did not blow up. He did not pressure me. He did not guilt me. He did not make a scene. Instead, he told me I was worth waiting for. And for a woman who had a lot on her plate, that landed differently. He let me focus on school. He kept in touch without making demands. He did not stress me out during one of the hardest seasons of my life. So slowly, the thing that first turned me off started getting reframed in my mind. Maybe he was just nervous. Maybe the first time was bad because of pressure. Maybe the "I love you" was too much, but maybe it came from sincerity. Maybe he was just a genuinely nice man, and because he seemed patient, I gave him another chance. This time, things felt better. The connection felt smoother. The physical side improved. And for a long time, I really believed I had chosen a good man. But looking back, the early signs were already there. They were just quiet. It was not loud jealousy. It was subtle, little comments, a certain energy when my past came up, slick remarks about my child's father, mood changes that did not make sense. Moments where he would get upset over something small and then go quiet, not yelling, not chaos, just enough coldness to make me pause. And that is what made it easy to ignore. Because when someone is not openly explosive, you can convince yourself that what you are seeing is minor. You can call it stress. You can call it insecurity. You can call it a misunderstanding, especially when that same person has also been patient with you. Especially when they showed up during a hard season, especially when you want to believe you finally chose someone safe. That is how confusion starts, not always with obvious cruelty. Sometimes it starts with mixed signals from someone who looks decent on paper, someone who waits, someone who sounds calm, someone who appears steady. And because the red flags are small at first, you file them away instead of facing them. That is what I did. I kept telling myself he was a good man with a few flaws, a nice man who got irritated sometimes, a solid man who had a jealous streak, a patient man who occasionally went cold. I did not realize yet that those little moments were clues. I thought I was looking at random imperfections. I did not know I was looking at a pattern. And by the time that pattern became impossible to ignore, I was already emotionally invested. That is the part people do not talk about enough. Sometimes the first red flags do not look dangerous. They just look easy to excuse, and that is exactly why they work.